pluribus unum. They changing climates and replacing humans and fracking soils while bulldozing forests. But they can't defeat us. They could not destroy us.
Are we dreaming the same dream of money, guns, and gasoline?
For the average team, CFOs are after cream. GMOs extracting genes with everyone on my GPS.
Giants, everything is shaking through the walls. 'Cause we are giants,
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Colts going up against the Broncos. So let's get you out to Denver for the call of our game. Here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, as you get a look at Sports Authority Field at Mile High. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos. The play clock's running down. Now a carry. It's C.J. Anderson. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of 8 there on the first down play. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Give him 2 yards on that play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. So still in search of the first down after that last completion. And on 3rd down, the Colts have added an extra defensive back.
Flooding the passing lanes.
Now Simeon. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And this will be taken at the 13. So he shifts past him. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Gore back there is the lone setback. Luck now to throw. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Everything about that play was beautiful. A great corner route where the receiver worked the defensive back inside and then broke back to the outside to the corner. But how about the throw by the quarterback? Anticipation on the break from inside to outside. He threw the football. As the receiver turned around, the ball greeted him.
Here's Gore. And he's got some space here. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I think Frank Gore runs on doubt. And what I mean is he's 33, and everyone keeps thinking this is the end, yet he keeps going.
I think something that gets overlooked, though, To your point, most rushing yards of anybody currently in the NFL.
Amazing. Big-time career.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage. Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Phillip Dorsett, the intended receiver. And 4th down coming up.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
On is Pat McAfee to punt it away for Indianapolis. Emmanuel Sanders deep for the Broncos. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Simeon. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. 6 yards on the pickup, and it's a 2nd down.
And that's the kind of pass that adds up over time, Brandon. You may not have picked up a 1st down there, but if you keep chipping away at it, eventually big plays may result.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. Now a run with Anderson. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. When we sat with the coaching staff a couple of days ago, they said attacking that defensive look with a run, something they wanted to do, it was effective.
And they were extremely confident, weren't they? Their planning, their preparation, they knew what they were going to get in that defense, and they were able to attack it accordingly.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw again. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down near the 35-yard line.
He's come time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And the defensive line controls the offensive front the way we just saw there. It doesn't allow any of the offensive linemen to leak downfield and get to the linebackers and block them on the 2nd level. You end up with the type of play we just saw. Linebackers didn't have to fight anyone off. Didn't have to knock anyone to the side. Didn't have to elude anyone trying to block them. They just saw the play, ran to the ball, and finished things off. While we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore, I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. He was looking for Jordan Norwood that time, and it's 4th down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
And McManus able to put it through, and that'll do it for the first quarter of play. Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gore. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. The defense in an enviable position here. The offense needs 13 yards. It's 3rd down.
But there's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far. But no second-guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And he gets it away, and it's a laser. Headed for the sidelines, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On 2nd down, Anderson. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
C.J. Anderson may not be a Pro Bowl runner, but he knows how to run big in big games.
Yeah, he sort of sealed the Super Bowl for them in the 4th quarter. Big game against the Patriots last year on a Monday night, but only 720 yards all told in 2015. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
C.J. Anderson, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. This is intercepted. Picked off by Antonio Cromartie. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. On 1st down, Luck. And Dwayne Allen on the grab. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They come up in an offset eye. On 1st down, it's Gore. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. One receiver left is Hilton. Here's Luck now on 2nd down. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
Yeah, as an offensive coordinator, if you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work. But in his defense, this has been a stifling defense so far. So they've got to start finding a way to unlock them as this game goes on.
The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Well, they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And time for us to take a break here in the booth. Back to Denver right after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have highlights and analysis of this first half. I'm guessing mostly defensive highlights that we will see.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. No touchdown scored yet so far.
Yeah, none whatsoever. Second down here after the incomplete pass.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game, because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Give him 9 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll run it. Here's Anderson. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Now Simeon. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
In the backfield is Anderson. He'll get the football here. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it's the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
They'll roll him out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's brought down after a good gain. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Left side here to Sanders. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the 3rd quarter. Let me spit this out. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Here comes Philip Dorsett now to return it. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Second down following the run.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. 7 yards remain now on third down.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. So he makes the grab, and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line, giving them time to complete that first down pass.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, spinning away. And he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 12. And the Colts are going to have a first.
And that's a good sign right there as we start the third quarter. Because in the first half, not much space to run the football. And as we go into the half, we often think to ourselves, all right, what's the adjustment? What do they have to do? You know what a lot of the adjustments are? No adjustments. You know the game plan, been working on it all week. Maybe a little tweak here or there, a little bit better blocking, and now you're establishing the running game. I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
And to the right side here, it's Allen. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they're going to have a third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielding no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half, and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do in the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what?
Rush coming, and he's taken down. The former Raiders, C.O. Moore, in there to drop him with his first sack of 2016. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And the Colts coming out now. And last time out there to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a tight, low-scoring affair thus far. 3-3 is our score heading into the fourth. Another carry now for Gore. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down. And the evidence shows last week's game, it's really leaked into a second game now, Charles. What do you think of this?
And it's a surprise, isn't it? Because when we spent time watching them practice, talking with the coaches, they felt like a bounce back was going to happen this week. They were very confident in the game plan.
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. DeMarcus Ware able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up fourth down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, big, and get things going in the excitement area. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a third down and 6 to go.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Here we go now.
Simeon. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Antonio Cromartie. So that right there was his second pick, but keep in mind, this is a guy who once had a rare 3-interception game in his career.
So what are you saying, that getting 2 in the game, that's like kid stuff for him? That's nothing. He's already done that, right? Been there, done that. You know he wants a third again.
Allen's got it over the middle. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll give the Colts a first down. Luck gives to his running back, Gore. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves. But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
So here comes the trusty, battle-tested Adam Vinatieri for a big kick. Time for a break. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they're looking at fourth down now in this tie ball game. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. So we still wait on the first touchdown of the game, but his second field goal makes this now a 6-3 score.
And this would be the definition of winning ugly. Now you need to continue to ride your defense and hope that you can make this fourth quarter lead stand up.
And this will be a touchback, and as we saw in week 1, the new rule, this one coming out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Back to throw. He goes underneath for Anderson. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
He'll look to throw. On the crossing route, he hits Demaryius Thomas. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 14 there. And it's a first down for the Broncos. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Here we go now.
10th carry now for Anderson. Ooh, with a juke. And down to the 36-yard line here. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Completes it to Norwood. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that.
They read through it.
He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow. So many practices we watched over time where the offense works on scoring late in the game and finding a way to win, as we just saw there.
Just saw it right there. Now can they preserve that advantage that they just got? On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And he's got it as the lead is now 10-6. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
They'll come out in the pistol. He's back to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Caught left side by Hilton. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Back to throw. And able to find Dorsett. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And quickly they get to the line. They'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. One receiver left is Hilton. Luck now to throw. Backing up. He's going to let it fly. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down.
I remember Philip Dorsett coming out of the University of Miami, ready to hit the league. All we talked about was speed, speed, speed. Just throw it to him, and you've got a great chance at a completion, but not that time.
Not that time. They tried a deep downfield with his speed, but incomplete. He's got time in the pocket. Still back there. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Desperation time for Luck on 4th down. Surveying the field. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie Justin Simmons. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
One receiver left, 3 to the right. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked by T.J. Green, the rookie safety. But he will not be able to bring it back. My goodness, what a bizarre ending. The kind of decision that could get a quarterback released before he gets back to the locker room. But fortunately for him and his crew, the ball game is over. What a hard-fought, low-scoring game. A tough one to lose always, partner.
For the losing team, not beautiful. But for the winning team, that's almost textbook old-school football. And you know I loved it.
So for the Broncos, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they will hit the road.
The light is going down and the week is here. Save my soul. I can feel it coming, troubles in the air. Oh my Lord, the light is going down and the week is here. Save my soul. Who's all with me? Who's all with me?
Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
Going down and the week is here. Save my soul. I can feel it coming, troubles in the air. Oh my Lord, the light is going down and the week is here. Save my soul. Who's all with me? Who's all with me?
Everybody, I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Denver Broncos and the Cincinnati Bengals. It's an Indian summer afternoon, perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by a 2-time Pro Bowler in his 6th season. It's Andy Dalton.
And in 2015, prior to hurting his thumb and being unable to finish the season, you just heard his teammates rave about Andy Dalton's jump in leadership, where he actually took over the team, really assumed the role of being the starting quarterback, and carried himself that way as well.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Second down, Dalton. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. 6 yards here to go for the offense on second down. Again, here's Bernard. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And, Charles, we get a look here at the key inactives, and I tell you what, a big list for being this early in the season.
If there's any silver lining at all, you're hoping you can get these guys back, and now you'll play well down the stretch with them. But what you're also hoping is that the guys who have to play for them, the next man up mentality kicks in, and those guys take care of business.
A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Simeon. Green with a catch left side. And he's brought down. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of look.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Ray Malaluga. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Back out there now. Let's see what they can put together. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. 12 yards on the pickup, and it'll give the Broncos a 1st down. First carry of the ball game now. It's C.J. Anderson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it. Simeon completes it to Norwood. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
That was not a completion that results in a highlight video. But at the same time, if you have those kind of completions all game long, eventually one of them might turn into a highlight.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out. Thomas, the lone receiver, left.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Holding offense.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And now the up man has it. It's a fake. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. A little trickery. The offense Defense back on the field here. Let's see what they can do on this play. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence. Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the out cut. On that play, didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
Out of the gun now on third down. He goes underneath for Anderson. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. Anytime a ball is thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Back to throw again. Got him in. He finds Sanders. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that third down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
Third time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on third, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
A reminder coming up at halftime. Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before that. Sanders has it over the middle. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Thomas, the lone receiver, left.
Green, 39.
Now Simeon. And that is incomplete.
The defensive coordinator came into this game with a plan to get to the quarterback with whatever type of pressure is necessary. It's working to perfection for him today.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And McManus able to put it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. It's a live action. Let's see what this offense can do here on this play. And coming out now, the Broncos. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And now they're in the hurry-up.
Let's go.
Simeon. And Green with a catch left side. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Bengals with 2 extra DBs. A nickel look on third.
Blanket in the passing lanes.
And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver. And it's 4th down. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. 64 was Matt Prater's record. This would top that by a yard. And that'll be off the crossbar and out. It's short. He couldn't get it there. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So close to an NFL record, but denied by the crossbar.
And you have to feel bad for him, don't you? He squeezed every last inch out of that kick. Oh, I thought he had it, but you said it.
Offense back out there now. Let's see what they can put together. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
Taken right around the 44. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And this the offense back on the field here. Let's see what they can do on this play. And now the Broncos